1946. World War II just ended. President Truman looks at a map and realizes Greenland sits directly between the United States and the USSR. He offers Denmark $100 million in gold, over $1 billion today, for this frozen island. Denmark says no. For 80 years, that rejection haunted American military planners, because what Truman understood then is undeniable now. Greenland isn't just an island, it's the keyhole to the entire northern hemisphere. The current race. Right now, 3 superpowers are quietly fighting over the largest island on Earth. Russia is militarizing the Arctic faster than anyone expected. China, nowhere near the Arctic, is investing billions to get in. And the United States is scrambling to catch up. This is Greenland, 836,000 square miles of ice and rock, home to just 57,000 people. For decades, nobody cared. Now, it might be the most valuable territory on the planet. The geography, nobody showed you. On standard maps, Greenland looks insulated. But view Earth from above the North Pole, and everything changes. Greenland sits directly between Washington and Moscow, New York and Beijing, Europe and North America. It's not isolated, it's the crossroads. During War II, the US rushed troops to Greenland to prevent Nazi control of the North Atlantic. Then came the Cold War. In 1951, the US built Thule Air Base, one of the world's most important military installations. If Soviets launched nuclear missiles, they'd come over the Arctic. Thule became America's early warning system, the tripwire that kept WW3 from happening. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, the threat disappeared. Thule went quiet. Americans forgot Greenland existed. But 3 things changed that. And now, the race is on. Russia's Arctic domination. NATO has about 10 Arctic bases. Russia has 41. After 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea, Putin launched the biggest Arctic militarization program since the Cold War. Russia deployed missile systems, MiG interceptors, and built the world's largest icebreaker fleet, 8 nuclear-powered and 33 diesel. The US has 2 old ones. Russia controls the Northern Sea Route, 3,300 miles along their Arctic coast. Traditional route from Asia to Europe, 12,000 miles through Suez. Northern Sea Route, 7,800 miles. That's 4,200 miles shorter, weeks faster, billions in savings. By 2030, Russia projects 150 million tons of cargo annually. Every ship using that route passes by Greenland. Whoever controls Greenland can monitor or block Russia's new maritime highway. China's strategic play. China is nowhere near the Arctic, yet they're investing billions. In 2018, China called themselves a near-Arctic state, like saying Florida is near Canadian. They see what's coming. By 2050, the Arctic Ocean will have ice-free summers. China wants control of trade routes through their Polar Silk Road. But there's a problem: Greenland. In 2017, Greenland wanted to expand airports. Denmark wouldn't pay. China offered loans, construction, Chinese workers, classic debt trap diplomacy. The Pentagon saw it as a Trojan horse. The US intervened. Denmark caved, funding the airports themselves for $555 million. China was blocked but didn't quit. Next target, Greenland's minerals. The trillion-dollar treasure. Greenland might be Earth's richest territory. The US maintains a list of 50 critical minerals essential for smartphones, EVs, weapons, and renewable energy. China controls 60% of global production and 85% of processing. Greenland has 43 of those 50 minerals, including rare earths, lithium, graphite, uranium, the 6th largest deposit globally, and neodymium for defense tech. Plus, an estimated 52 billion barrels of oil offshore, equal to Libya's reserves. Some estimates put Greenland's total resource value over $50 trillion, more than US annual GDP. Why isn't it being mined? Greenland is brutally hard to develop. 80% ice covered, no connecting roads, frozen ports, tiny workforce. But as the Arctic warms, mining becomes feasible. Exploration sites jumped from 12 in 2010 to over 170 today. China has tried repeatedly to secure mining rights. Every time, the US blocked them. America's strategic position. The US already has major presence. A 1951 treaty gives America almost unlimited access to build bases, deploy troops, conduct operations. Pituffik Space Base, formerly Thule, handles missile early warning and satellite tracking. One of only 2 polar satellite control stations the US operates. So why does Trump want to buy it? 3 problems. Problem 1. Greenland could become independent. If 67% supporting independence vote yes, they become their own country and to kick the US out. Problem 2. Russia dominates militarily, with 41 bases, more icebreakers, more Arctic-trained troops. The US needs Greenland as a forward operating base. Problem 3. The GI-UK gap between Greenland, Iceland, and UK is NATO's critical choke point. Critical undersea internet cables pass through here. If Russian subs cut them during conflict, it would digitally isolate the US from Europe, collapsing NATO coordination and freezing Wall Street. Denmark's defense, 4 patrol ships, 4 helicopters, 6 dog sled teams, isn't enough for an area the size of Western Europe. The people caught in the middle. Caught in this competition are 57,000 Greenlanders, mostly Inuit indigenous people colonized by Denmark in the 1700s. They suffered forced assimilation and coerced sterilizations. Today, they have semi-autonomous status, but Denmark controls foreign policy and military, paying $500 million yearly in subsidies, 20% of Greenland's economy. 67% want independence, but can't afford it. Without subsidies, their government loses half its budget. To survive independently, they need mining revenue, requiring massive foreign investment. But every investor comes with strings. China means US blockade, Russia means NATO intervention, US means losing the independence they're fighting for. Prime Minister Mute Edede said it best. "We are not for sale. We don't want to be Danes. We don't want to be Americans. We want to be Greenlanders." What happens next? Within 5 to 10 years, Arctic ice will continue melting. Russia and China will deepen Arctic partnership. Greenland mining will expand, and Greenland will move toward independence while struggling to remain neutral. You can't just buy a territory with 57,000 people in 2025. Greenland's people have rights and sovereignty. They've made it clear they don't want to replace one colonial master with another. So why are Russia, China, and the US racing to control Greenland? Because Greenland is the key to the Arctic, and the Arctic is the key to the 21st century. Whoever controls Greenland controls the shortest routes between continents, trillions in rare earth minerals, the ability to monitor enemy naval movements, and the high ground in the next Cold War. Russia knows this. That's why they're building 41 bases. China knows this. That's why they're investing billions despite being 2,000 miles away. The United States knows this. That's why Trump won't stop talking about buying it. But the people who live there just want to decide their own future. The race for Greenland isn't coming. It's already here, and the stakes couldn't be higher.